Hello, my name is Mark Michel Grobry. I am the founder of GILFA, the international group for the leadership of African women. We have been running for now 1 year, and today is our annual gala dinner. This celebration means a lot for us because African women have something to show. They need to tackle injustice, they need to tackle poverty, they need to tackle negative surroundings. So we need everyone's help to back them up. We are actually running in the Ivory Coast, we are running in the UK. That's our two first countries where we are actually having our activities. Today, the first annual gala dinner in the UK is a grand premiere, and we want everybody to be happy and come and show what they want to do for the African women. This is a fundraising event just to help us tackle all our finance, all our activities all around the world in all African countries. This is a grand premiere, and we are happy to welcome you tonight.
Mesdames et messieurs, bonsoir. Nous sommes ravis de vous recevoir tous ce soir. Nous sommes là pour une grande organisation qui s'appelle GILFA. Et c'est dommage que tout le monde n'est pas encore là, mais on a pris aussi de retard, donc on va s'excuser par rapport à ça. Donc désolé pour le retard, mais nous allons devoir commencer. Je vais vous présenter un peu notre association, plutôt notre organisation qui s'appelle GILFA, qui est une association qui parle des femmes, qui représente les femmes. Donc, les femmes, bienvenue ce soir, parce que cette organisation, c'est pour vous. Cet événement sera chaque année, on aura cet événement chaque année. Chaque année, on fera exactement la même fête. Un gala représentera GILFA. Donc, nous sommes là pour célébrer cet événement, la femme africaine. Par ailleurs, cet événement révèle une douce signification pour nous et démontre que l'amour que nous avons pour notre continent d'origine, que nous avons quitté depuis plusieurs années déjà. Cette occasion pour nous de montrer combien nous pouvons aider nos sœurs, cousines, mamans, amies, etc. Et aussi de montrer que la pauvreté on peut sortir de la pauvreté, les femmes peuvent sortir de la pauvreté, parce que cette organisation veut aider les femmes à sortir de la pauvreté en Afrique. Donc je vais laisser la parole à mon collègue Jonathan Tete.
Thank you. It's true exactly. The African women is obviously the one that suffer the most from social instabilities in Africa. We all could notice that in our family, mainly back home where I come from Ivory Coast, in Africa in general, women are left by themselves sometimes. And this is what we chance to rise up tonight. This is the opportunity for the women tonight to rise up, to show that it's not only being at home, caring for the children, there's something else coming in. We have the pleasure to present you with the important project designed to bring African women together, no matter where they live in the world, in order to try and level things in Africa. Those women over there need help. If you could notice, you got some envelope on the tables for those people willing to give you support to those women. So as you can see, each table, we got a few envelopes. Don't be scared, don't be afraid. You can put something, whatever it is, something for those women that we try to support here in London and back home in Africa. in order to try to liberate things in Africa, those women over there need help to become a social leader. Please help them with your donation. Please help them with your donation, no matter how much it is. Thank you very much.
Comme mon collègue l'a si bien dit, il y a des enveloppes sur les tables. Donc, à chaque moment, si vous êtes prêts, juste donnez, laissez parler votre cœur et nous, on sera heureux d'avoir de bonnes donations, n'est-ce pas, Jonathan?
Oh yeah, that's true. Without wasting any more time, let's welcome on this stage the chair of the Coventry local community of Jilfa, who is actually organizing the ceremony. On behalf of the board, Ms. Danny Bedi.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once upon a time, an international group for the leadership of African women started in Coventry. One man called upon some women and exposed his idea of putting them together to fight for a cause, the leadership of the African woman. Those women found the idea, the objectives, the strategies, and the ambitions were fantastic. And since then, we started meeting every month to work on the activities designed to lead the women to a state of leader in the environment. And here we are today, a year later, celebrating the first anniversary of our existence. As the chair of the local community of Coventry, I'm happy and honored to know that my community was chosen to receive this celebration. So I will just say a big thank you to you all for being here tonight to celebrate with us. Once again, thank you so much for supporting us. We really need you tonight and for our future actions. Jilfa may only be 1 year old, but its ambition are the one of a 20-year-old organization, trying to spread over the world, trying to make itself understood by everyone who is ready to start the journey with us, trying to put together as many women as possible. Please make yourself available to join this spirit of winners. Do not take too much time to think over and over again. Africa needs you. The sisters need you to help them fight together to eradicate poverty. They want to get out of there. They are tired of undergoing humiliating attacks. They need more education, more financial support, more logistical help, and so on and forth. In a few minutes' time, you will be watching a small documentary showing how our mothers back home are living the spirit of Jilfa. You will see how motivated they are. Therefore, you will see how important your help would be to get them into education and support them for their small businesses. Dear sisters, our ambition is to make Jilfa as much possible an organization where all African nationalities will be represented and take part in this noble strategy to face poverty. But while we're helping our sister back home, we want to help ourselves too over here. That's why from next month, we'll be launching Jilfa communities. We want from now to call up other African communities living in Coventry to join us to make a real impact in our lives. We would like to set up an important women group to tackle issues relating to our financial presence in this difficult economic situation. Please do come along and join us in our monthly meeting and you will know more about it. Dear sisters, dear honorable guests, in order to proceed smoothly with our program tonight, let me stop my speech here and let you find out more about Jilfa from our website on the www.jilfa.org. I'm sure that you'll be convinced by what we are doing for the African women. Long live Jilfa, long live African women. Thank you very much.
Maintenant, nous allons laisser la parole à notre présidente UK, Madame Ewan. Nous allons laisser la parole, elle va encore mieux vous expliquer qu'est-ce qu'est Jilfa.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear honorable guests, good evening. Welcome to the celebration of the first anniversary of our existence, our dear Jilfa. It is an honor for me to be standing here tonight in front of you to deliver this speech as the UK chair of Jilfa. This ambitious international group for the leadership of African women, which was started in Coventry in July 2011.
This night means a lot to us African women because it is the beginning of the regular annual celebration of our efforts. The efforts of realizing worldwide our ambition to come together as one, to build up a strong, powerful, social-economic environment. Yes, we can. And we are strong, powerful, proving it tonight. Let's forget about our fears and certainly doubt and lack of efforts whenever we had the opportunity to start something. Let's prove from tonight that we, African women, are able to bring a positive impact to the build-up of some of the 8 goals of the millennium set by the United Nations to make this world a better place to live for everyone. Therefore, we would like to take this opportunity given to us by a man, Mr. Grobley, founder of this organization, to prove what we know best, caring for others. It has always been taught that Africans are not able of coming together to undertake meaningful actions which will impact and impress the world. Today we are showing that it is possible. Big things always start and know from somewhere. Then impress positively everyone. And this is our aim. Impress positively the world, to say that we are concerned to raise and find possible solutions to them. In that sense, GILFA chose to deal with 3 main areas: the education, the communication, and microfinance. Trying to raise the level of education of the third world women seems to be a tremendous task. Fantastic efforts have already been made to help her, but a lot more needs to be done. So we will try and help as much as possible. At GILFA, we choose to offer small financial support to the farmers' children of our members in order for them to stay the best at school and be held as role models in the future. But this future starts today. If we want them to become social leaders in few years' time. The communication side of our project involves setting up a system in which our members will be constantly reminded that they are able to be the best. By being part of our group, we will continuously help them understand the importance of unity. If we want to build up a bigger picture of the powerful socio-economic African woman, we have the capacity, the brain, and the ambition to get to that stage of leadership. And we know we will do it. Our website, www.gilfa.org, our leaflets, our monthly meetings for the local group, and a big meeting every 3 months within every country where we are working are a list of activities and strategies to even get to the rural African woman to let her know that we exist for our sake. I feel proud of the sex I belong to. And we are now entering a new area where we have decided as African women living abroad to pair with our sisters back home to tackle issues related to our conditions. We want to be part of this new way of seeing things in a better way. In short, we want to become leaders in our environment, be it at work, in business, and in any other domain. Unity is a force. According to the United Nations, the condition of the African woman are getting better. From a very poor education to a level where she can now read and stay longer in school. From a total absence in parliament to an impressive presence now. We can hold as example the actual Rwanda parliament, which hold more than 50% of women. And as a matter of fact, Rwanda is becoming one of the Africa's strongest economic society. Dear women, this is a great change and a great chance. No, the sooner the better. Africa needs to be proud of you as an offspring of honor.
Thank you, and may the Almighty God bless every one of us in this world who believes in this project. Thank you.
Please welcome on the stage Mrs. Ponso Osori from Lesotho, South Africa.
Thank you for that generous and kind introduction. My name is Ponso Morosi. Originally, I am from Lesotho, but I've lived and worked in South Africa for many years, and that's why I sometimes sell myself as South African. And many of the times I sell myself as Lesothoan because I want to make a point. And if there are any Basutus here, yes. Yes, because I want to make a point. But I want to start, my message is very brief tonight, and I want to start it by calling for all the women in the room to celebrate being here. Think of all the people we've left at home. Think of your mothers, think of your grandmothers, think of your aunts and sisters and everyone else. Can I see, just by show of hands, how many of you grew up in rural areas? No one was brought up in rural areas. Wow. Okay, I was probably the only one. How many of you were brought up without electricity? How many of you grew up without the internet? Hello? Yes, that's what you must celebrate. You celebrate the access to education, access to resources, access to everything that we have. Because we are very lucky. We are here because we are very lucky. That's how I want to start. But I also want to proceed and ask, how lucky are we really? We are here because we know that we are not so lucky. We are here because we know that women still need. We are here because we know that women do not make it to the top of any profession in the world, including cooking, including hairdressing, including tailoring. The best at the top of all those professions are still men. And why is that? That's why we are here, right? We are here because the leaders of the world, the top leaders of the world, the presidents and the prime ministers are men. How many countries do we have in the world? About 193, 194, regardless of where you get your statistics from. But how many of those presidents and prime ministers are women? About 20 of them. What percentage is that? How many of the women leaders, how many of the women presidents and prime ministers in Africa are women? I think there's about 3 or 5, but it's certainly not more than that. That's why we are here. In my daily job, I teach, as the introduction suggested. In teaching, you know, most of you probably were taught by women in primary schools. Teaching is one of those professions that's dominated by women. But the leaders of teaching profession are who? Men. That's why we are here. We want to change that situation. And I think for my generation, people of my generation, perhaps the boat has passed in terms of changing the statistical picture. But we can still make a difference. And I've got 3 things to say that we can make a difference on. The one is we stay active. We stay active in the workforce, we stay active in sport, we stay active in community leadership, we stay active in church leadership. That's where we want to see women taking the forefront. We want to see more women in places. We want to see more women CEOs. Many academic studies have been conducted to suggest that women are still very lowly represented in large corporations, leadership of large corporations. We want to change that. And as I have said, that my generation, and and I think the generation of the people across the room has actually not changed that, but we can make a difference. One of the things, make a difference, stay active. The second thing is about education. Education has been preached about a lot, not only here, but with the first speakers that came before me. There are more than, or about 80 million girls who are not in school across the world, and more than 60 million of those are in Africa. Let's make a difference. Let's make, in very small ways that we can, in very small ways that we can, our cousins, our sisters, our nephews, our nieces and daughters, let's get them into school. That's how we can make a difference. And the third thing is about, while we are active in the workforce, while we are active in sports, while we are active in everything that we do, let us believe that we can make a difference. Let us be confident in what we do. And that will be probably the legacy that we can leave for our nieces and our daughters. A friend of mine once said to me, you know, Ponso, if the job of a president was a job that people could apply for, all men would apply for it. But women wouldn't. Why? Because we often doubt ourselves. We often want to be reaffirmed and reassured. We want to share our difference and share our success with other people. And perhaps that's not the wrong thing to do. But my last message is that, which is a little bit controversial, be selfish. Selfish, I don't mean that you must eat all the food and not leave anything for your children and husband. We want the husband, we want the men in our lives to share in our success. But be selfish in owning and claiming and gloating in your success. That's how you build confidence. And I want to end the message by quoting Nelson Mandela. I'm going to read it because it's a quote and I wouldn't want to get it wrong. It's very short though. He said that a good head and a good heart are always a formidable combination. Mark has shown that a good heart and a good head is a formidable combination. I think individually we have good heads, that's probably why we are here. Individually we have good hearts, and individually we make a formidable combination. That the combination of our good hearts and good heads make a formidable combination. But collectively we can improve the association, the organization as it has started, and collectively we can be better. Thank you.
Our next speaker was based in Africa before, and she's coming from Africa, our next speaker. She's a writer, a founder, one of the government organizations defending violence in African women. She's also a designer, as well she's a sample of the kind of woman Jennifer is trying to create. Please welcome Mrs. Chantal Mabukiri.
Bonsoir, messieurs, dames, les représentants des associations, honorables invités, messieurs, dames. C'est pour moi un plaisir et un honneur de prendre la parole à cette occasion du premier anniversaire de JILFA.
It's a pleasure for me to be able to speak to the first occasion, the first meeting of JILFA.
Je me présente, je m'appelle Madame Mabouki Chantal.
My name is Mrs. Mabouki Chantal.
Je suis fervente militante des droits des femmes. Je suis fervente militante des droits des femmes et présidente fondateur de l'association Femmes du Millénaire.
I'm a founder of the right of women and a fighter also for the right of women in society.
L'association Femmes du Millénaire, c'est une association qui lutte contre l'analphabétisme féminin et défend les droits des femmes.
This association that I'm part of and founder is one that fights for the women who cannot go to school, the women that is being, women that are being violated, women that are being abused,
Également, je suis auteur de 2 ouvrages intitulés L'essor de la jeune fille africaine et les femmes violées du Kivu.
I've written 2 books. One of them is called The Outcome of the Young African Women, and the other one is called The Woman That's Been Abused. So I was writing 2 books about it.
Mes ouvrages sont exposés à 5 livres seulement. C'est pour soutenir aussi notre association et soutenir les actions de JILFA, qui sont pour moi des actions très importantes.
Those books are written right outside of the door because £5 only, and this money will go towards the help for the funding for the women in Africa also.
Actuellement, je suis étudiante. Je fais mes études à distance à l'Université de Rouen en master en droit public.
At the moment, I'm a student at university in France, where I'm studying. A place called Rouen in France, where I'm studying.
Ma présence dans cette manifestation a pour but de sensibiliser et d'encourager toutes mes sœurs africaines.
Me being here this afternoon is to encourage and to put the awareness all the African women.
Présentes et non présentes.
Those who are there tonight, or those who couldn't be there.
Comme nous constatons, au moment où le monde évolue dans les changements tels que nouvelles technologies et recherches scientifiques,
As we can notice now, whereby things are going faster, we're talking about science, we're talking about technology, we're talking about new fields coming on and on. I'm trying to raise that awareness from women also.
C'est au même moment que la femme africaine cherche à se libérer encore à ces inégalités socio-économiques et culturelles qui lui sont infligées.
So being in this 21st century, as we're talking about progression, technology, evolution, the African woman is looking for the ways to rise up.
En ce 21e siècle, l'égalité entre l'homme et la femme est encore une utopie pour la femme africaine.
At this 21st century, equality between men and women becomes easily in utopia. Something you can't believe.
La parité serait plus efficace et effective si elle est instaurée des mesures d'accompagnement.
It will be fair, it will be appreciable if the cooperation between men and women was done from the beginning, from work done from scratch.
Telle que l'orientation scolaire et professionnelle des filles vers des filières scientifiques qualifiantes et bien rémunérées. Scientifiques qualifiantes et bien rémunérées.
Such as going to technology, allow women to go to high school to be able to educate themselves also.
Pour pouvoir lutter contre la paupérisation féminine qui est quasiment permanente pour les sexes féminins.
By doing so, we will be able to fight against poverty, feminine poverty, and give a chance to those women to fight for themselves in this world whereby men are dominating.
Malgré les difficultés quotidiennes, il va falloir que les femmes se concentrent plus à leur éducation et à celle de leur progéniture et proche.
Against all odds, women have to fight for the education every day, above all difficulties, above all odds, to maintain the growing up, the awareness in society.
Car le manque d'éducation et l'ignorance nous maintient la femme à l'esclavagisme moderne.
The lack of education for women will keep her down compared to men. Therefore, educating them, giving the women the chance to go to school, the chance to go to high school, to university, will allow them to fight for themselves in the society. Otherwise, they are looked down.
Il n'y a pas d'âge pour les études car j'ai eu ma licence l'année dernière à 38 ans.
There is no age to study. I just have my bachelor at 38 years old. So it's never late to study. If you're a woman, even a man, there's no age to study.
Je vais vous faire part d'un témoignage, d'un petit témoignage.
I want to give you a testimony.
Je suis arrivée en France à 27-28 ans.
I was 28 years old when I arrived in France.
En arrivant en France, je me suis plus approchée à mes sœurs africaines.
When I go to Paris, to France, I was more or less close to African ladies, African girls, African women.
Et je voulais quand même savoir comment ça se passait dans le monde du travail.
I wanted to find out how does it work for the women in France at that time.
Malheureusement, toutes celles que j'approchais,
But those that were coming close to,
soit elles étaient femmes de ménage, soit aides-soignantes.
but most of the women I was coming close to, most of them was doing a job like cleaning or a job like ironing. The job was the bottom line, just for being a woman. Most of the jobs they were doing, I noticed when I arrived in France, they were like cleaning, looking after children, looking after people's house, those kind of jobs.
Et comme je venais d'arriver, je ne comprenais rien. Je leur ai demandé, et il y a que ces deux métiers pour les femmes africaines?
So as I arrived and I was newly there, I wondered and I asked them, is it the only two jobs that we have for African women? Is it that all? Cleaning, caring for the people, is that it?
Et toutes me répondaient que c'était très difficile d'accéder à d'autres métiers.
And the answer I was receiving, they were saying it's very difficult to get a job as a woman in France, for example.
Et moi qui venais d'arriver, j'avais du mal à comprendre.
And as I just arrived, I could not understand it.
J'ai pensé toujours combien nos parents ont souffert en Afrique pour nous envoyer à l'école.
I was thinking how much our family suffered to put us to school.
Surtout nos mamans,
Mostly our mothers.
qui ont tout fait,
They did all.
qui ont fait les commerces, n'importe quoi pour que les enfants aillent à l'école.
Our mothers done anything, sell anything on the market, while it was possible to bring us up.
Et la pilule avait du mal à passer,
It was difficult to pass this through.
parce que je n'arrivais pas à comprendre.
I could understand it.
Parmi ces femmes qui faisaient du ménage ou les soignantes, il y avait des licenciés,
And between those women working as a cleaner or as a care worker, some of those women was pretty much qualified with a bachelor.
il y avait des femmes qui ont fait vraiment des études importantes en Afrique.
And some of the women doing that job, some of them have done very high study in Africa before coming to France. But still,
Bizarrement, devant toute cette situation, j'ai voulu prendre des risques.
but against all these odds, I tried to take the risk.
J'ai suivi une formation en couture.
So I went to learn how to work as a seamstress.
Après ma formation en couture, je suis allée voir les microcrédits pour avoir un crédit pour que je puisse ouvrir une petite entreprise.
So I went to find out from small banks to borrow some money so that I could set up a small business.
Arrivé au microcrédit, la dame qui me regardait disait Madame, on ne peut pas t'octroyer ces crédits pour que tu puisses ouvrir l'entreprise.
As I went to the bank, speaking to the bank people, they looked at me and said to me, I can't give you that. I can't give that money to you, lady. I'm sorry.
J'ai regardé la dame.
I looked the lady in the eyes.
J'ai eu vraiment beaucoup de colère.
I was upset.
Vu que j'ai fourni beaucoup d'efforts et je connaissais quand même mes droits.
Because I knew myself, I knew what I'm capable of doing, and I knew my rights.
J'ai dit à la dame,
So I said to the lady,
ou soit je vais contacter SOS Racisme
I'm going to call for help.
et je prends l'avocat pour procéder à la procédure.
So she was so upset. She told the lady, okay.
Pour ça, tu m'apportes un crédit pour que je puisse ouvrir mon entreprise.
The whole point for her is to be able to borrow some money from the bank to set up a business. But she found out the lady at the bank would not listen to her. She wouldn't give the money. So she said to her, hang on a minute, I'm going to call for help and I know my rights. And if you don't do so, I'm going to go for a lawyer to tell you my right because I know I deserve that money.
Et la dame a vu que j'étais vraiment déterminée. Elle m'a dit de revenir 2 semaines après.
So the person in the bank said to her, she found out from the way she was speaking, hang on a minute, this woman is right, come back next week, in 2 weeks' time.
Et 2 semaines après, quand je suis arrivée, elle m'a dit de lui fournir les projets et les budgets provisionnels et je lui ai tout fourni.
And this is 2 weeks after I came there, she asked me to provide the documentation for me to see that what I was proposing to do as a project.
2 semaines après, le crédit m'a été octroyé.
2 weeks after, they finally gave me this money.
J'ai ouvert ma maison de couture.
So I opened my beauty. It's a business for seamstress. Those who make clothes that we wear. Right?
Après 1 an de ma maison de couture, j'ai ouvert un autre magasin, tellement que ça marchait, j'ai ouvert un autre magasin de produits africains.
So after the first business I opened a second business of African products. And that was going pretty fine.
6 mois après, j'ai ouvert un grand site internet.
6 months after, I opened a massive internet cyber.
Au total, je me retrouvais avec 3 magasins.
At the end, I found myself in 3 different businesses running at the same time.
Du coup, pour le premier magasin, j'ai embauché 2 blanches qui étaient mes salariés.
And for the first time, I have people working for me, 2 European ladies.
Et souvent, quand les blancs venaient dans mon magasin, ils me disaient qu'ils voulaient voir ma patronne parce qu'ils n'admettaient pas que j'étais une patronne en France.
And the funny thing is, when people come to my business, my shop, they ask me to see the boss of the shop because they could not believe that the black lady, African lady, I could own the business. So they asked me, where is your boss?
Et je leur disais en souriant que c'était moi la patronne.
And with a big smile, I said to them, I am the boss.
Pour vous dire, mes sœurs qui sont présentes, c'est une façon de vous encourager, de nous dire que nous ne pouvons pas, ce n'est plus le moment de ramasser les restes de l'Occident.
This is an example for sisters here present in this room to say that you're not here to do jobs such as cleaning only. It's not that.
Car les restes de l'Occident, ce n'est pas notre fatalité, car nous portons l'Afrique, l'avenir de l'Afrique est sur notre dos.
We have the uprising, we have everything from Africa. In one word, we're not here to do what is left by other people to do. It's better for us to do.
La femme africaine a beaucoup de valeurs, car elle donne la vie, elle transmet des vraies valeurs et elle éduque sa progéniture.
The African woman's got a lot of great values.
Mais si cette femme, elle est vulnérable, elle n'est pas heureuse, elle n'est pas considérée, mais ça se produit, ça va se manifester envers sa progéniture.
If us as a woman, we don't show what we are capable of doing, that incapacity, that weakness, we full people coming after us.
Et je voulais finir pour vous dire, toutes les organisations chargées des droits des femmes et les associations sensibilisent les Africaines à devenir les panafricanistes.
And nowadays, as you could notice, a lot of women organizations is encouraging women to become pan-Africanists, to fight for the right as a black African woman.
Mais sœurs, nous qui sommes ici, nous ne pouvons jamais oublier là où nous venons. Quand nous pouvons avoir quelque chose, nous devons toujours songer à envoyer pour scolariser nos sœurs qui sont restées là. Car notre problème, le problème majeur de la femme africaine, c'est le manque d'éducation.
The most important problem for the African women is a lack of education. So here we have to raise the awareness. Because we have to, whatever we do, we have to think about sending someone back home to help people back home. Whatever we do in here, at some point we go stop. Back home, send someone back home for someone else. Therefore, we have to raise that awareness. We people here living in Europe, you've got to think about this aspect.
Les Africains, nous devons être solidaires. Il ne faut pas qu'il y ait les Ivoiriens, les Sénégalais, les Congolais, nous devons être solidaires. Et à ce 21e siècle, nous avons besoin des actions concrètes. Nous n'avons plus besoin des paroles, les écrits qu'on a écrits, on a tout fait, mais nous voulons vraiment nous lever maintenant, construire des écoles, soutenir les autres femmes qui n'ont pas eu la chance d'aller à l'école. C'est en nous devons être des voix, des sans-voix.
When I say women, I'm not talking about women from Ivory Coast, women from Benin, from Togo. I'm talking about everybody. We got to be united as one and fight for one purpose. Because we got value, we got capacity, we are able to do a lot of things if only we are united.
Et j'ai tellement à vous dire ce soir, mais je suis obligée d'interrompre. Je vous remercie vraiment de votre attention. Merci.
C'est un très beau discours. Ça relève vraiment les cœurs et nous devons vraiment écouter ce qu'elle vient de dire parce que c'est un très beau discours. Nous allons continuer dans notre programme. Comme ce soir, nous célébrons la femme leader, la femme africaine, la femme battante, la femme optimiste, pour elle-même, pour ses sœurs, la femme dévouée, la femme respectueuse, la femme vertueuse, assidue au travail et soumise dans son foyer et respectueuse des vertus sociales africaines.
In Africa, for Europe, a woman in Africa, how was that possible? To give you an idea of our communication strategy, we have the communication specialist, our webmaster, Clement Laoso. Please make a big ovation for our webmaster, Mr. Clement Laoso. Thank you.
I was thinking about social media and the way technology could be used even in the deepest rural Africa to help bring the message through worldwide and to spare money about this. And that was the whole challenge. And I explained here that our mothers, our sisters, are already there. When you travel across Africa, you see how cyber coffee places are full, are packed. Young ladies, gentlemen, youngsters are all there. They dream, they listen to music, they learn, and there's an opportunity from there. And I explained him and the ladies working on this project that we have to use this tool as a powerful means of getting people together about this great idea. It's about socialization all over the world. So what is happening nowadays, what is happening today is just about magical. Women meeting in different local committees on a monthly basis in different parts of Africa, starting from the Ivory Coast. And a few days later, everybody is aware here in the UK what has been done. And we are now building a report on what we are doing now here in this hall, and all the GIFA members in Africa tomorrow, as from tomorrow, will be connected with us as magic. We have video programs coming out. We have the latest state of technology that we want to use with the oldest rural traditions, a little bit the way like Japanese people did, the way like Chinese people did it, and I think we can do it. And at the beginning, some of the ladies were afraid of the whole machine kind of thing, technical kind of thing. But as far as you don't need to be a mechanic specialist or engineer in order to be able to drive a car, you don't have to be a geek in the computer industry to be able to open an account on gilfa.org and log in the back system and enjoy the big image of the program. So please log into www.gilfa.org in French or in English and be a part of the great project that is coming out. This is just year one, but this is one aspect. What you think is really important, what you wish is really important. All together, we are going to build
this about what technology can bring to this.
Merci encore à vous.
Well, now we're going to get to the most important part of this night. Well, to remind you again, for those who do not know him, let's say some word about him. Let's just feel big about this person. The reason why we're here tonight, let's speak about that fact and that person. I can't wait to see it. Right. He is the founder of the Bernie Investment Corporation, IBICO. Please make some noise for Mr. Grobry!
Okay. Dovevamo sembrare sotto di loro, la prima che la comunità, sicura se si voilà, that's how it's finita.
Thanks a lot. I'm really amazed of the fact that this hall is packed with people we invited tonight to join us in our journey. This is a big journey we started 1 year ago. And over here, we have only, for the time being, 7 women part of GILFA in the UK. That's not enough. We want you all in this room to be part of GILFA because GILFA is a very big project. And let's talk about the beginning of GILFA. One day I woke up, I realized that the African woman, wherever she is, she needs help. Why does she need help? Because we think that everyone needs education. We think everyone needs a social position, a very good social position. But that's not the case in Africa. In Africa, the best positions are held by men. Women can go to the kitchen and do whatever they want. We don't want that. I'm a man and I want women to be as free as men, as powerful as men. And I realize that when a woman is doing something, she does it properly. And you agree with me, isn't it? It's true. Okay. So let's do the journey together. Because you women, you need more. You need more attention. Because the thing is, when you have a good and a very good position in life, you have all the attention from anybody around you. But when you don't have any good position, nobody cares about you. So GILFA is meant to bring all the women together, all the African women and men together, to make and build up a very, very big, powerful financial group. We've already started, and please join us in this journey. Right. Let's talk about the project itself. Yes, I've talked about the woman, but let's talk about the project itself. What does GILFA mean? As an international group, it means women from everywhere in the world can be part of this project. You don't need to walk from London to Coventry. You don't need to walk from Ganywa, let's say, because that's where I come from. You don't need to walk from Ganywa to Abidjan to be part of GILFA. No, we have a website. Anytime you need information, you go to the website, you find the information there. Clement Robson told you, we are working on that because that's where you can be big. Because you can stay in your kitchen where they want you to stay and have all the information about GILFA. How GILFA is working, what is GILFA actually doing, and that's our ambition. The first thing we want to do at GILFA is to help women's education to rise. It's very, very important for a woman to know how to read. It's very, very important for a woman to know that she can be. Important for a woman to know that she can be one day in a office or somewhere and be the attention of everyone around her. So you will see a documentary in a few minutes time from the Ivory Coast, and you will see how the team is working back home in the Ivory Coast. We don't want to joke, because I know some African people, when you call them for a ceremony, they think you are joking. Tonight, we're not joking. We're starting something serious, and in 10 years' time, we come here again, maybe not in this hall, because it will be too small to hold all the women here, but we will be in a very big hall, somewhere outside. Okay? So, we want all African women, the maximum, to be educated. It is very important. You just heard two great women. One is a teacher at Royal University, Porto, and I have a lot of respect for her, because once she gave us an interview on our website, we knew that she had a lot in her head. That's what we want for the African woman. But if you're not educated, we have another side to cover up. Yes, the business side. Because what is lacking in Africa is money. In Africa, we don't have money to start a business. We are over here, we are working, we have a bit of money every month. Why not set up a group to help those back home? It doesn't cost us anything, because what women of Jilfa are paying or putting aside every month is £10. You spend £10 100 times every month, I'm sure. But we are asking you to put £10 aside every month, and in this £10, you have £2.50 going for Jilfa every month, £5 for yourself, because you take part in this big project in Africa, and with £2.50 which are remaining are going for our social projects. So we are doing things in a very sensitive way. Please join us. It's very, very important that we see more African women in this project. Thank you very much, and see you.
Video, DVDs on the screen here. I hope everyone in the back can see it properly. It's just 20 minutes video just to see what the sister or the brothers or the auntie are doing back home. We want you to have a look.
Groupe international pour le leadership de la femme africaine. Fondé en juillet 2011 au Royaume-Uni par Marc-Michel Grobry, ivoirien résident dans ce pays, le groupe international
la plus grande fera partie d'une organisation tellement d'adhérentes, je ne sais même pas comment je vais me qualifier, tellement l'organisation sera puissante.
C'est une grande idée pour nous les femmes. C'est vrai que c'est un homme qui a eu cette idée, il a pensé à nous et il faut vraiment le remercier. Et pour être honnête, je ne pensais pas que ça allait en arriver jusque-là. C'est vrai que je ne pensais pas qu'on allait arriver à 1 an aujourd'hui. Donc franchement, je vous demandais de faire encore une innovation pour M. Marc-Michel Grobry.
We're going to look for, waiting for a ladies' session. Some of our sisters will come and show us what we can do. So please let's go to ladies in their special place for this particular talk. Thank you.
Ce sont les femmes de Mont-Saint-Léger, les femmes de Coventry qui sont déjà au Jilfa, qui vont défiler pour montrer des tenues africaines qui a été créée par cette dame qui est là, Madame Mouriki. Ce sont ses créations. Donc, elles vont défiler sous vos yeux. Innovation vraie quand même, non?
applause for those ladies. So please, right here, please. That's what keep us going. Yeah, that's what keep us going. Thank you.
Nous allons passer au dîner. Mais avant de passer au dîner, je vais vous présenter quelqu'un. C'est le président des artistes et c'est quelqu'un qui soutient beaucoup aussi les femmes. Et c'est aussi mon beau-père. Monsieur Coré Vagnon.
Il a été concordé le délice et nous aurons tous envie d'y goûter. De bons plats ont été faits pour vous, tout est collectionné. Et là, c'est le moment de dîner. Donc ça va, les dames sont servies. Merci.
Bon appétit à tout le monde et j'espère que vous avez passé un très bon moment.
Once again, I was really honored when I had this idea and I spoke to some women. Some turned me down and others followed me up to today. 1-year-old Jilfa, I need to address some certificates of recognition to 7 women who are today the pioneers of Jilfa. They will remember all the lifelong that they started Jilfa at the beginning. I will call here Mrs. Mariette J. Kila.
Welcome to 1 year work. Thank you very much.
The next one is Miss Jacqueline José Dakoui. The next one is Miss Apolline Kerebel.
Thank you for your hard work. Thank you very much.
I'm proud of it.
From the London Committee.
From London Committee, Mrs. Louise Dawson. Could you come forward, please? You are special to us. You are very special to us. An applause for this lady coming through. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your hard work.
You're welcome. Thank you. Mrs. Sonia Adesi Euma.
Yes.
Mrs. Euma, please back you the box. Thank you very much. Welcome to hard work.
She is special to us. She's very special to Hilfa. Thank you.
I will call here Mrs. Diane Beddy, Chairwoman of the Coventry Local Committee.
Thank you for your hard work. Thank you.
Thank you. And the last one is Mrs. Marie-Thérèse Gobry.
Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you for your hard work. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Hello? Hello?
Hello? Okay. We would like to celebrate our 1 year with you. So we are now going to have a touch of your please together we're going to sing Happy Birthday Gilfa. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Gilfa. Happy birthday, Gilfa. Happy birthday to Gilfa. Happy birthday to you.
Joyeux anniversaire! Joyeux anniversaire!
Il faut faire la politique que le gâteau était pour les micros là.
Simon Pierre, je suis de Coventry, Angleterre, et je suis très heureux d'être à la soirée de la Gilva aujourd'hui. Et bon, vraiment, je ne sais pas que dire, je suis vraiment ému, c'est une bonne perspective pour la Côte d'Ivoire et j'espère que ça va aller pour tout le monde, pour toutes les femmes surtout. Et j'espère que ça ira bien. Et je vous remercie beaucoup d'être là ce soir avec nous pour partager ce moment-là. Merci beaucoup.
Ok, merci beaucoup.
C'était une très belle soirée. Je remercie le président Grobry pour son initiative, qui a de très belles idées. Et j'espère longue vie et bon vent à cette organisation qui, j'espère, pourra enregistrer beaucoup de femmes. Comme on dit, derrière une femme, un grand homme se cache une grande dame. Aujourd'hui, les femmes ont l'occasion de passer devant et d'être leaders dans ce qu'elles font. Donc, en tant qu'hommes, nous les encourageons et nous les soutiendrons dans tout ce qu'elles feront. Merci.
Vraiment, nous étions vraiment très ravis tout à l'heure de voir tout ce qui s'est passé. Ce que je voulais dire, le frère Grobry, quelqu'un que je connais très bien, qui a toujours de bonnes initiatives, de bonnes idées, et qui a une bonne vision en fait de la vie associative. Bon, tout ce que j'ai à dire, c'est vraiment de l'encourager dans ce qu'il entreprend comme action. Gilfa, à travers Gilfa, je pense que c'est une bonne œuvre, c'est une bonne entreprise qu'il essaie de mener à son niveau. Je pense que en fait, à ce niveau, si effectivement au niveau du pays, les gens sont organisés. Et comme on le dit, une femme bien éduquée, et surtout que ça s'adresse aux femmes, une femme bien éduquée, c'est toute une société qui est bien élevée, bien éduquée. Je voudrais dire aussi, au-delà de ça, au pays, ce que nous constatons, le taux d'analphabétisme est très élevé, surtout dans le milieu féminin. Si à ce niveau, Gilfa, effectivement, peut essayer d'apporter sa contribution pour essayer d'aider ces femmes, parce que le monde se modernise, le monde avance, ce monde qui bouge a besoin vraiment des femmes vraiment instruites, des femmes vraiment qui ont un niveau acceptable pour pouvoir mener à bien l'intégration sociale, que ce soit au niveau des enfants, que ce soit au niveau de la jeunesse. Aujourd'hui, nous le constatons chez nous au pays, en fait, il y a trop de choses qui se passent et la femme a un rôle prépondérant à jouer pour vraiment essayer de redresser cette société-là. Et je pense que Gilfa vient en son heure pour répondre un peu à ce vide-là. C'est ce que je voudrais dire. Et vraiment, encore une fois de plus, les 1 an que Gilfa fête aujourd'hui ici, vraiment ça nous va droit au cœur. Nous sommes là, nous allons le soutenir dans toutes ses actions. Moi je suis vraiment très proche de lui et c'est ce que je voulais dire. Merci une fois de plus pour Gilfa et bien de choses à nos soeurs qui sont là-bas, qu'elles ne se découragent pas, qu'elles mettent la main vraiment à la pâte pour que cette œuvre grandissime puisse réussir. Merci.
Mon nom c'est Madame Eumon Sonia. Présidente de Gilfa UK.
Ou alors, Madame Sonia, est-ce que vous avez un mot de la circonstance, s'il vous plaît?
Je suis vraiment très contente que la communauté ait répondu positivement à notre appel. Franchement dit, je considère ce premier anniversaire comme une véritable réussite. Nos frères et nos sœurs sont venus nous soutenir et je les remercie infiniment. Je lance vraiment un grand appel à toutes les femmes. surtout celles qui sont restées à la maison. Le temps n'est plus à dormir ou à s'occuper des enfants ou à préparer. Le temps est à se lever et à faire quelque chose de sa vie, afin que sa vie soit aussi un exemple pour les autres. Il n'est plus le temps de traîner, de traîner les pas, c'est le temps de se lever. Se lever pour se battre pour son avenir et pour laisser un héritage à ses enfants.
Alors pour les femmes qui sont au pays, pas comme on dit en anglais.
Oui.
Alors quels sont les conseils?
Les conseils pour les femmes qui sont restées au pays, nous sommes là, nous sommes prêtes à les soutenir. Nous allons tout faire notre possible pour qu'elles aussi elles soient financièrement indépendantes et qu'elles puissent aussi aider aussi leur environnement. Je les encourage et je leur dis que nous sommes là, nous sommes prêtes à travailler ensemble pour le développement de l'Afrique.
Alors à l'intérieur, nous avons vu beaucoup de femmes là-bas, surtout les Ivoiriennes. Est-ce
Oui.
que cet groupe concerne seulement les femmes ivoiriennes?
Non, Gilfa a commencé en Côte d'Ivoire, mais Gilfa compte s'étendre, Gilfa compte aller partout dans le monde. Voilà pourquoi Gilfa, c'est le groupe international pour le leadership de la femme africaine. Nous allons commencer en Afrique et nous allons voir comment est-ce que nous pouvons étendre Gilfa de façon internationale. Mais nous avons commencé en Côte d'Ivoire, c'est un lancement, mais Gilfa compte s'étendre partout en Afrique et dans le monde. Ok, merci. Le mot de la fin est que femme, lève-toi. Le pays, le monde compte sur toi. Ça, c'est le mot de la fin. Merci beaucoup.
Ponso Morosi.
Okay, and Mr.
Mark Michel Grobry.
Yeah, okay, we have seen a lot of people inside here today in Coventry. So we want to know, where do you come from first and what are you doing here in this place?
Wow, that's an interesting question. I'm originally from Lesotho, and I work for the University of Warwick, and that's where Mark met me, and that's how he invited me here. But the main reason, I suppose, why he invited me was because I work with women in leadership, and although my focus is largely in education, but I suppose education and what Mark is trying to achieve go hand in hand, and so that's why I happen to be here tonight.
And then we want to know, what advice is you giving to the people, to the women left back home in Africa?
I think women are already doing a lot back there. We need to recognize what they are doing, and we need to support them. I think the advantage that maybe some of us have by being here is that we are able to see things from a slightly different perspective. And so we have a little bit more access to some resources that they don't have access to back home. And I think what I see as perhaps our role, if you want to put it that way, is that we need to help them. We need to help them achieve better what they are already doing. And I don't think we should underestimate the successes that they already have. I mean, as the Ivory Coast from the video that we saw, that they're already doing a lot of work with or without Gilfa. But with the presence of Gilfa, then it's even better because it consolidates them. And I think that's what they need, to be consolidated so that all the efforts and all the successes can be acknowledged and that it can attract more and more women. Because at the end of the day, what we want is more successful women.
Yeah, but okay, can you tell us the carpet ground? That means the connection between you from Lesotho and from the Ivory Coast. So how did you get it?
Well, I live in Coventry, which is where Mark lives, and so that's the basic way in which we met, really. And I don't suppose if I was in Lesotho would have met, we probably wouldn't have met.
Not really.
But we may have, because we now have more access to the internet and we have access to other media of communication. We probably would have met. You probably would have known about my work somehow. But the main thing was that we met here in Coventry. And I think that's the important thing, that when you are here, when you are on the diaspora, you get to meet other people. And I think that's where the great connections, networks are made. And that's why it's important to consolidate these networks here and then make the connections.
1 year, we have seen 100 of the people inside. Do you think this is a success?
I think it's a great success. We did not expect so much people like that, but we think it's very important for people to turn up tonight and see what we've already done. Yeah, that's why we showed this DVD. It's very, very important for us to show what women are doing back home, what effort they are putting into Gilfa, because that's where our strength comes from. we need to work harder and harder for them to be happy, these women.
By building this, you were not afraid of anything to build this?
No. You know, I'm a kind of go-getter in life. When I want something, I go and get it.
Okay, no problem. But what is the difficulty you find on this?
The first difficulty is that you know, when I went to women in the diaspora and explained the situation of helping other women back home, you know, they were a bit reluctant because, you know, previously some people came to them and said, okay, we're going to help people back home, and they did not do so. So when I went to them and they were a bit reluctant. I understood them, but I did not stop there. No, I did not stop there. I went on doing what I wanted to do. Then today is 1 year, and I'm happy. That's it.
So,
I think it's been a very successful event. You know, when I was invited, I knew that there were going to be many people. But honestly, I must say that what I saw here tonight exceeded way my expectations. And I think it was a very successful event. And I would like to congratulate Mark and the women, the Jilfa women who put this together, and everyone else who was involved, because I think it was a bold thing to do.
Yeah,
and I think I don't know how we did in terms of the fundraising, but I guess that was not the sole purpose of tonight. Yeah. But I think to cut the long story short, it was a great success.
Okay, but tell us about the vision. This is 1 year. Yeah. So what about 2 years?
Yeah,
so what are you going to do?
Next year, we think we're going to have a bigger party, a bigger celebration, because I think people know that Jilfa exists now. So they will come and see what we are actually doing inside Jilfa. Next month we will launch Jilfa Communities, which will involve many more countries. At first glance we started with the Ivory Coast, which was our first trial country, but now women from Cameroon, from Congo and everything will come to us, and we will work together, because we are expecting to have some plants in other countries in Africa. So I think next year will be a bigger event than this one.
Okay, I will congratulate you.
Thank you very much.
You guys, thank you very much. Any advices if you got it?
I think it is a huge initiative. It is a great initiative, and for it to be focusing on women, and it started by a man, I think it goes somewhere into showing what I said in my talk earlier, that we want more women to take initiatives like this. We want more women to be more active like this. And but I think we appreciate very much, because as African women, we want to work with our men, you know. Working with the men as our partners gives us strength, and we don't want to leave them behind. We don't want them to leave us behind. So I think this is a great call, not only to the women, the African women in Coventry and the African women in the country, in the UK, but across the two places, the women in Africa and women here in the UK, that here's an initiative started by a man, and let's do something about it. And this man started this initiative solely for the purposes of the benefit of the women. And I think all we can do is just to support him, support the organization, and support the rest of the women on the African continent.
Okay, about you?
Yeah, thank you very much. What I would like to say is a big thank you to everyone who came and support our cause, because it is very important to have support on your back. When you know that people are supporting what you're doing, you go a bit further. So I will do my best, my utmost, to be where I want it to be in 5 years' time and 10 years' time, to be a bigger organization for African women, to bring all African women to a state of leadership, real leadership in the environment.
Thank you very much.